Nah, I ain't hit delete on nothing, man. Shit, finna probably go on the wrong damn thing.
Did y'all call me?
Huh?
Now what's your name? Fuck.
That's because you didn't hit delete on something.
Nah, I ain't hit delete on nothing, man. Shit, finna probably go on the wrong damn thing.
And we live.
Did y'all call me?
Hold on, man. Let me get off this thing.
Now what's your name? Fuck.
I look crazy. I don't know. I don't care. Uh, let me get back on here. I can't even see. What's all right. Let me share the show real quick. Facebook might not even let me do it again. Right now. It wouldn't let me share nothing a while ago. Earlier.
And me sure nothing didn't. They kicked me off, said I was spam or something. I don't know.
Oh, for real?
I was sharing too many groups.
Oh, yeah, they'll do that too now. I mean, I have done it to me a few times. And then a while ago, it wouldn't let me share. It didn't give me the option to do nothing, to share, to go live, do nothing. Mm-hmm. So I tried like 2 or 3 times, man. It just wouldn't let me do nothing. Look at this. If they don't, at least I get it on my Facebook page, man.
Right.
Let's see what it do. Let's see. It might let me do it. It might not. If it ain't, don't look like it's gonna let me do nothing. Yeah, it's tripping, man.
They got me blocked till August.
Wow, that's crazy. At least let's see if let me put it back in the back chat. Let me do that. Yeah, let me do that. While sharing them up. So that's a no go. That is a no go. Sound good though. Um, looking for a while. I ain't even been in this group in a while. Oh, here it is. All right, man. And I didn't even add the other stuff. It's all good. I ain't good, man. This ain't tripping. Let me go back over here and shit. I need to go. I'm ready to get this out the way. Peace. Um, First I want to say, ETM Hotel, Dua Aku, Dua Necha, Fatmu Lafayette, Fatmu Riri, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Gungun, Majuba Iba E Lakba, Majuba Iba E Lakba. First, I want to give honor and praises to the ancestors, because without the ancestors, we wouldn't be here. I want to also extend honor and praises to the true and living elders according to African traditions. Welcome back to Kofi Piesie TV, the channel that takes the black man, black woman, and child, Eurocentric mind, and Africanize it. Peace to the few in the chat. Please like the show. Please share the show. I'm unable to share the show. A couple of us is unable to share the show. Facebook won't let us share the show. Got us blocked or restricted for whatever reason it may be. So please share the show with people that you think that may be interested in this information. Also, excuse me, I'm looking a little crazy, but it'll be all right. It's one of them days. I got Basa Nicolo Gullah, Chala Bangara, Sutat on the panel. Herit, Shawn, Khalfani. Any one of y'all got anything, man, before I jump into the presentation?
Peace to the fam. Peace to those who will see it in the archives. Please like and share the show as you come through. Appreciate y'all for coming by, kicking it with us. Make sure that you support in the form of either pre-order or you can pay the full price for the book. But make sure you show your support by ordering our book that we are coming out with on May 25th. Spears of the Mossy, Volume 1. I yield the floor.
Peace to everybody that's tuned in. We work hard at trying to bring forth information. A lot of people don't understand what we do and why we do it, but we know why we're here. That's why we came together. And we really appreciate, I don't care if it's 5 people in here viewing the video, that you're trying to get some education. Like Kofi said, we Africanizing the Black mind because we're so Eurocentric minded. So please like and share the show, family. We really appreciate y'all. And let's see what more information we got here.
Peace, everybody. To the panel and listening audience and future listening audience. Extremely interested in where this conversation is going to go that Kofi's about to present, and like, share, and support. Peace, everybody. Happy Mother's Day. And Kofi, I'm going to be super multitasking at the moment, but I will be listening.
All right. Shawn, you got anything, man, or you still cooking? You must be still cooking. Burning up some. Let me share my screen real quick. Peace Omar Reed. Peace to my old lady, Nanya. Peace, Brother Robert Rand. Yeah, Native Son. That's one of his books, Brother Robert Rand. Pull it up to the left. Maybe I just moved it. I fixed it a little bit. Our old lady texting me, telling me I need to fix the background. Fix the background, baby. It's gonna be all right. All right. It's one of them days, baby. It's gonna be all right. All right. Looking crazy. But it's all good. Let me turn my camera off. All right, y'all let me know when my screen sharing.
Good on this end.
Okay, let me know when it's sharing on the other end. Again, like I said, share the show with people you think that may be interesting. This like I said earlier, this presentation, I mean, if you don't take nothing away but being inspired and motivated, I mean, his story is a motivational and an inspiring story. I think everybody should, look into who this brother is, but then who is Richard Wright, master writer. He's a native of Mississippi. I am also a native of Mississippi. And let's get in and see who is this brother who I call a master writer. People may be a little bit familiar with him. Also, I did, I think the origin of Black history, the origin of Black power. And I talked about this brother, and I mentioned it a little bit later when we get to the word Black power again, because when people think of Black power, they think of Stokely Carmichael. He popularized the phrase, but he did not come up with Black power, or what Black power actually stands for when we talk about cooperative economics and other things. But we'll get into that later on in the presentation. And y'all gonna have to excuse me. I'm left out some stuff. Don't know why I left out stuff, but I always like to put out a disclaimer. Um, and I should know the disclaimer by now because I wrote the disclaimer and I've been doing it for the past 3 years. But y'all already know I'm not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information. The information is provided for the educational purpose only. If you are in doubt, do the research and have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the right to change something of the information, something that I remember some of it, but I don't remember all of it. I wrote it, but again, I forgot to put it on here. I wanted to put the beginning of the commercial that Shawn did on here to continue to promote the book. But everybody's been following me know this is my saying. As I learn, we all learn. His other saying, which is important to me, let's get this culture. And the most important, we must not let our ancestors down. Every single day, I try to do whatever I can to make my ancestors proud of me. If that's reading their works, if that's following in their footsteps, is that practicing their if it's practicing their traditions, is it honoring them by speaking their name, cooking their favorite foods, pouring libations to them? Is it about telling about their past history to other folks to give people other familiar? Whatever it takes to make our ancestors proud, these are the things that I'm trying to do on a daily basis. So we must not let our ancestors down. I'm definitely not gonna do that. That's crazy. I got the disclaimer all over the place, but um, I'll read it real quick because I like to give a disclaimer before I do anything. I am not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information and information provided for the educational purpose only. And if you are in doubt, do the research and have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the right to change the focus of this presentation, to shut down, sell, or exchange the terms I use in my own discretion. Our trademark, design rights, copyrights, registered names, mottos, logos, avatars, the sigmas, marks used or cited by this website are the property of the respective owners. I reserve the right to add information as it comes available, adapt changes, approve information as it comes available in the future. Inputs wanted, changes, additions, deletions are encouraged. All right. Um, let's get into who Richard Wright parents is. Richard Nathaniel Wright was born September the 4th, 1908 in Roxy, Mississippi. A lot of people, when you read information or you study about Richard Wright, they always say that he was born in Natchez. He was not born in Natchez. He was born in Roxy, Mississippi. For Roxy, Mississippi, not far from Natchez. The son of Nathaniel Wright is a literate sharecropper, and Ilian Wilson Wright, the school teacher, and his grandson, and the grandson of a slave. In 1911, Ela takes Wright and barely 1 year old brother, Leon Allen, to Natchez. Then they moved to Natchez. He's not from Natchez again. He's from Roxy, and then they moved to Natchez to live with his family, and his father later joined them in the fine work at a sawmill. In 1913, the four Wrights moved to Memphis, Tennessee, but within a year, Nathaniel deserted them for another woman, and Ellen works as a cook and supported the family. So at the top, you can see his mother. This is his mother. This is his father. They relocated first. They left Roxy, Mississippi, and went into Natchez, which Natchez maybe about 15 minutes away from Roxy, Mississippi. Their father later left Roxy and relocated to Natchez with the family. Then they eventually moved to Tennessee. The father eventually leaves Richard Wright, his brother, and his mother for another woman. Here is a picture of me. Wish I could have had more pictures or better pictures taken. This is me in Roxy, Mississippi. I actually went to Roxy Thursday, so I drove to Richard Wright hometown. They're actually trying to gather some information and even try to take a picture of an historical site or something, or marker. But I could have went to Natchez. I drove to Roxy. I could have went to Natchez, but we didn't go. But I took a picture in front of the old community center in Roxy. Roxy is a little small town. Wish I could have, I wanted to, my intention was to try to interview somebody, and it's crazy. I done talked to many people, and I even talked to a coworker that's from Roxley. They have never heard of Richard Wright. Um, the guy at the city hall that I talked to, he's from Natchez, but I guess he resides in Roxley. He never heard of Richard Wright, so I was trying to talk to him and explain, tell him about Richard Wright. Richard Wright was a native to Roxley, Mississippi. Try to tell him some of the things, his attributes, his contributions, etc. But again, they moved away from Roxy, as Richard Wright and his brother Alan was very young when they moved away. All right. In September 1915, Richard entered a school of Howard Institution. However, Ellen fails early in 1916, and Richard's father, Nathaniel Mother, came for a while to care for the family. When she left, Richard and Ellen had to live for a brief time in an orphanage until Ellen could have them live with her parents in Jackson, Mississippi. But again, Richard Allen and Ellen were moved. This time with Ellen's sister Maggie and her husband Celicia Hopkins in Alien, Arkansas. But whites murdered Hopkins and the family ran to West Helen, Arkansas, and then to Jackson, Mississippi. After a few months, they returned to West Helen, where the mother and aunt cooked and cleaned for whites. Soon as Aunt Maggie goes north to Detroit with her new lover. So they moved quite a bit. They moved from Roxy to Natchez, left Natchez and moved to Memphis, Tennessee. Richard's mother fell out of work. Before she got sick and fell out of work, his grandmother came, and eventually after she left, Richard and his brother ended up in the orphanage for a little while, but got back with his mother. They relocated to one part of Arkansas, moved to another part of Arkansas. Then they moved back to Mississippi. They moved about 45 minutes away from me, which is Jackson, Mississippi. I think Jackson, Mississippi is 45 minutes away from me. Roxy, Mississippi, I traveled to Roxy, Mississippi. Roxy was like 30 minutes away from me. Natchez is like 45 minutes away from me. Here is Wright. We talked about his brother. This is his, on the left. You got Richard Wright. On the right, you got his brother, his young brother Alan. His young brother was one when they moved from Roxy. This is his aunt. This is his auntie that he went to go stay with in Arkansas. And soon as they moved with Richard and his brother and his mom moved in with his aunt, her husband got killed by some white men, by a white man, and they eventually left and went to another part of Arkansas, came back and then relocated to Jackson, but eventually they went on back into Jackson. Howard Institution, we talk about when he got to Memphis, Tennessee, he enrolled into a school called Howard Institution. So in 1819, Howard Institution, a collection of George Wentworth. The Howard Institution was founded in 1888 by Peter Howells of Illinois. It was originally called the Memphis Baptist of Normally Institution and was one of the early private educational factories for African Americans in Memphis. In 1902, Thomas O. Fuller was named principal, and under the leadership of the school grew by leaps and bounds. There were 5 buildings on campus. The original Howard building then is the industrial shop, which gave space to the printer and the sewing department, and then a teacher college building along the Clara's House dormitories for girls. But the Howard Institution had no endowment or relied on support from tuition and donation. So there was always a struggle. Howard sold his building and merged with the Lamoni College in 1937. The school's still there too. Wright in the school in the fall of 1918, but was forced to leave a few months because of his mother's poor health and forced him to earn money to support the family. Unable to pay their rent, the family moved, and Wright gathered excessive coal next to the railroad tracks in order to heat the home. When his mother suffered paralyzing stroke, they returned with Ellen's mother to Jackson, and Aunt Maggie takes Leon Allen to Detroit with her. So he started again. They moved, relocated from Roxy, went to Natchez, went from Natchez to Memphis, Tennessee. He enrolled in school in Memphis, Tennessee, in the Howard Institution, the institution that I showed you that is now called Lamoni Institution. They eventually sold it. All right. They went from Memphis, Tennessee to Arkansas. They went to Arkansas where his mother's sister was. Her mother, his auntie husband got killed. So they went to another part of Arkansas, went back to the Arkansas this sister was in, went to Jackson, back to Arkansas. Now he's went in, every time he enrolled in school, he has to leave because they keep relocating. Just follow me. So now that his mother got sick, they leave in Arkansas, and now they're going back to Jackson to his grandmother's house in Jackson, Mississippi. His auntie that they eventually went to go stay with, whose husband got killed, took his youngest brother to Detroit, because she eventually relocated to Detroit after her husband got killed. And then, for a while she was there, then she relocated to Detroit. At the age of 13, Richard entered the 5th grade in Jackson. He was soon placed in the 6th grade, in addition to delivering newspaper and worked briefly with a traveling insurance salesman. The next year he entered the 7th grade, and his grandmother died. He managed to earn, enough to buy textbooks, foods, and clothing by running errands for whites. In the meantime, Richard read pulp novels, magazines, and anything he could get his hands on. During the winter, he writes the first short story, and I should have highlighted that in yellow. The Voodoo of Hell's Half Acres, which is published in the spring of 1924 in Jackson Southern Registers. In May 25th, Wright graduated valedictorian of his 9th grade. He begins high school, but as Leon Allen has returned from Detroit, quits after only a few weeks so he can earn money. At the times, he works 2 or even 3 jobs. So he again has to quit school. So he quit school. He became a valedictorian in the 9th grade, and he wrote his first publication, The Voodoo in Hell Half Acres, in the 9th grade. He developed a knack of writing about his experiences surrounding him and the things that he was going through. But we'll get into that a little bit later with more details. In 1927, Richard read H&L Mackenzie, and from Mackenzie, Wright learned about and read Theodore Dreiser, Sinclair Lewis, Sherwood Anderson, Frank Harrison, and others. Wright and Aunt Maggie moved to Chicago while his mother and brother returned to Jackson, where Wright worked as a dishwasher and the delivery boy. So now he moves to Chicago. He moves to Chicago with his auntie, the aunt that was in Arkansas, whose husband got killed. So he's moved to Chicago, and he leaves his mother and his brother. Where Wright worked as a dishwasher delivery boy until finding temporary employment with the Postal Service in Chicago. His mother and brother moved in with him, and Aunt Maggie and Aunt Cleopatra joined them. He makes friends, both blacks and whites, in the postal office. Writes regularly and attended meetings of the Black Literature Group. And to the right, you can see here is a 61-cent stamp. This stamp, the Postal Service. He eventually he got fired from the post office. But later on, the post office in Chicago eventually, this is years later on, they began to put give him his own postal stamp. In a stamp announcement of 09 through 13, the United Postal Service described the 61-cent stamp honoring the American author Richard Wright. This was years later when they began to honor Richard Wright because of all the things that he did. Who was born on September the 4th, 1908. With this 25th stamp in literature art series, the U.S. Postal Service honored author Richard Wright, 1909 through 1960. Best remembered for his controversial 1940 novel, Native Son, and 1945 autobiography, Black Boy. Wright drew on a wide range of literature traditions, including protest writings and detective fictions, to craft influential poetry of racism in American society. So the Postal Service was honoring him because of those 2 works he done. He done more than that, and we're gonna get into a lot of what this brother done. Following the stock market crash, Wright loses, like I said, he loses his postal job, but begins working in 1930 on a novel, Cesspool, published posthumously in 1970 as Lord Today, that reflects his experiences in the postal office. So every time he wrote something, y'all, he would always, every book he would publish, he was writing about the experiences of the black people and the experiences um um and the hardships that we was going through, and even his own experiences as well, that reflects his experiences in the post office. In 1931, Wright published a short story, Superstition, in the About Monthly magazine, a black journal that fails before Wright collects any money from them. However, he did get an opportunity to write through the Federal Writers Project. He began to be a member of the Communist Party and published poetry and short stories in such magazines as Left Front, Avil, and New Masses. Here is the book that we was talking about, Law Today. This is like one of his first publications that he did. You can find this on Amazon. Here is the Superstition book that we talked about, or the Superstition that he wrote for this magazine, the About Monthly. I just threw a picture up here because I was trying to surf on it on net and see, just I wanted to get an image. Oh, excuse me, wanted to get an image of the book. There's no image of the book. It's on the one buyer that actually has it, Mugler's Book, Sacramento, and it is up for sale, a used, very good copy for $1,000 that he published through this magazine. He went to New York from America Writing Congress, where he speaks on the isolation of Negro writings. He published a poem about lynching and Heritage Reviews, and writes an article for the New Masses entitled Joe Louis Undiscovered Dynamite. After his return, he is hired by the Federal Writer Projects to research his history of Illinois and of the Negro in Chicago. His short story, Big Boy Leaves Home, in 1936 appears in the New Carver Ontology, where it attracted mainstream criticism attention. In 1937, Richard Wright went to New York City, where he became Harlem's editor of the communist paper Daily Worker. He helps to launch the magazine New Challenge and publish the Ethnic Living Jim Crow in America stuff, the WP you ain't did nothing. Writers Writers Anthology, Blueprints of a Negro Writing Experiences, in the first and only issue, New Challenges, and the second novel manuscript, Tar Baby Done, makes a round with published and received constant rejection. It is never published, but Fire and Cloud wins the first prize in the Story Magazine contest. Hold on. Damn thing in front of me. Next year, Uncle Tom's Children is published in March of the Wide Acclaim. I got to put that in the yellow. Bright and Morning Star appears in the New Masses, and Wright soon joins the magazine editor board. Y'all can kind of see where I'm going when I said master writer. He started writing, I think, at the age of 15. He published his first work in the 9th grade. And he earned a knack for reading and writing. So he eventually goes on to write numerous books, write numerous journals, and etc. for different varieties of magazines. He joins the magazine editor board. He works as a new novelist and asks Margaret Walker to send him newspaper clippings from the Robert Nixon case in Chicago. In October, he finished the first draft of the novel, which is called Native Son. Robert Rand, when we first got in the track, he typed in Native Son. This was one of his books. Native Son. Fire and Cloud wins the O. Henry Memory Award. By February 1939, he has a complete second draft of Native Son. After winning a congeniting fellowship, Wright resigns from the Federal Wright Projects, and in June he finished Native Son and married Diana Rose Madam, and White's a white modern dancer teacher. Ralph Lucent is his best man, he begins to work as a new novel, Little Sister, which never was published. Native Son is published in 1940, which a lot of people know him for this work, Native Son, Black Boy, and Black Power, which I'll talk about Black Power in a minute, which you do a lot of research, they'll talk about all of these different novels and books and stories that he wrote, but short stories. He even wrote a musical thing, which we'll get into too. They always exclude the book Black Power for some reason, but a lot of people know Richard Wright for his publication of Native Son in 1940. In March, the book was the book of the month. It offers a main selection. Through the book, it is banned in Birmingham, Alabama, libraries. Wright becomes international famous. Unhappy with the stage adaptation of Native Son that Paul Green has been working on, Wright and John Horseman revisit in the Orson Welles in Minds as a director. The book of the bestseller and stage success as a play on Broadway in 1941. The book achieved so much success that Paul Green, they brought it on at where they brought it up with the directors, Orson Welles, I think that's his name. He brought it on as a Broadway play. And we'll get into that and here is some pictures of the play in 1941 on the screen. To the left, you got on the screen, and at last, Richard Wright's bestseller explodes on the screen. This is Native Son. This is 1941. Native Son, if you read Native Son, one of the characters on there is called Bigger Thompson. So here is Candy Lee to the right, who plays Bigger Son. And then you have at the bottom, you have two other scenes at the bottom. This was in 1941. His book, again, achieved much success that they ended up making a Broadway play about it. But let's keep going just about just one book. That's why I say a lot of pieces. He wrote so many different things. That's why I have a lot of things in yellow, so y'all can see exactly how much this brother has been putting in work, how much writing this brother been putting in work, how many books he has out. In 1947, a Hollywood producer offered a film, Native Son, but wanted a change in Bigger Thompson as a white man. So now, from 41, it was on the Native Son. The book was put out in 1940, right? And then Native Son achieved all this success, and then it went on to be, they wanted to make it a Broadway. So they made it a Broadway play in 1941. Then years later in 1947, he was approached by a Hollywood producer that wanted to take the Broadway play to a movie, or the book, and put it into a movie. But now they wanted to change up. They wanted Bigger Thompson to play a white man. So Wright works as being translated into several European languages. That didn't happen. That didn't happen, by the way. Wright decided to move the family to Europe permanently. But in his reaction to continuing racism he encountered in America, Wright decided to move to France as a permanent exploratory. While in France, Wright took a growing interest in anti-colonial movement and also traveled extensively. We're going to get into a place he traveled here in a few minutes in 1953. Wright himself played Bigger in a motion picture version, Native Son, made in Argentina in 1951. So just this one book alone, which we show other things that he wrote before he got to the Native Son, and we're going to show you things after the Native Son that was success, but a lot of people know him from Native Son. Again, the book went on to be a Broadway play in 1941. Then he was approached in 1947 by a producer to do a movie about the about the book, The Native Son. Then he went on to play his own, character he wrote about, Bigger Thompson, in the movie that was produced in Argentina in 1951. Here is a picture of Richard Wright right here playing his own character he wrote about in the movies later on in Argentina. It's burnt. It's burnt. And this is in 2019. I didn't get a chance to try to look it up and see if I can find the movie, but this here is Native Son. HBO put this out in 2019. And I want to try to go check this out. I don't know if it's a movie. I don't know if it's a series, but
Yeah, it's a movie. I was just reading. I was
Seen
going
it.
to watch that the other night.
yeah.
I seen it about a few months ago.
What you looking at? If you ain't like it,
I mean, dude right here, he kind of weird.
yeah. I mean, he's a good actor though. But you know, he is weird. He weird. If you go and look him up,
It's got some.
yeah, he do. He kind of do. He's a good actor though.
That's why I ain't watching because it looked kind of weird. But I was just watching All Day and the Night the other day, and it made me go to that.
Yeah. So they did.
I'm gonna say not watch.
Go
Watch
ahead.
it.
I'm gonna try to check. Yeah, I'm gonna try to check it out because go ahead.
What y'all mean by weird, fellas?
I mean, no, he don't hold on now.
I forgot he was in Chicago.
The character.
No,
character. The
I mean,
characters.
But no, he's like that for real though. He's like if you study, I know the guy because I like a lot of his work. And then they just recently released a movie. I can't think of the name of it. Just came out maybe a week ago. Yeah.
I was getting ready to watch that too, but I mean, just because it's, I mean, it don't mean none that it's anybody dealing with Chicago. I mean, it's a whole bunch of weird guys up in here. Like, I ain't trying to make it seem like my city is just full of, you know. No, I got you, bro. But it is. I'm letting you know right now on record.
Come on in here and defend Chicago.
You know what, Shawn? Don't be putting my business out there like that.
Yeah,
all right,
but I mean,
let me alone.
It's all good, but I want to check it out, man. And I didn't know they had did this. I knew they had been doing. I think they done like 2 or 3 different movies. It's been on Broadway, and then I seen this in 2019. He's been gone. Richard Wright been gone a long time, and they still is redoing the book and turning it into movies. Native Son, you can see, based on a bestseller novel by Richard Wright. It's 2020, and they still doing it. He put this book out in 1940, The Native Son. And his actor name is Ashton Sanders. That's and he's playing Bigger Thompson. Again, like if you familiar with the Native Son book, you know that the main character in the book is Bigger Thompson. And so he's playing it. And I dude cool. I done seen him in like maybe 5 movies, and each movie I seen him in, he's good. I think he also plays in the movie with Denzel Washington and what is the Equalizer 2. He's playing Equalizer 2, yeah. So I mean, he's a good actor. He's a damn good actor, but he is, I'm saying I ain't trying to, like I said, he's just kind of weird because I went and, we're trying to find out who this brother was. But I'm like, man, he's all over the place. And every movie I'm looking at, when I do look at movies, I'm looking at movies, and the movies he in, I enjoy, the movies he in, and the brother can act, he can act, but off the scene, I just went to look at the background, like look at his IG pages and some other Facebook pages and stuff like that. He's kind of weird. He kind of dressed kind of crazy, but I mean, each to each his own. I mean, I wouldn't wear some of the stuff that I done seen him wore. It's kind of.
And since Brother Shawn brought it up, let me let y'all know right now. Nah, let me stop. I'm just playing. I ain't even on that because I haven't seen the movie, but me and my girl was getting ready to watch the All Day and the Night. And
no, it's dope. It's good. I'm telling you, you're gonna like it.
But then we gonna watch that tonight when we get off of here.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. Y'all gonna like it. Cause I don't know, my old lady, she probably done popped up off here.
That's what got me to the
All Day,
Native Son movie.
To the who?
That's what got me to the Native Son movie, but I ain't watching.
Okay, and I see she put it in here. I thought she was gone because she normally, she like the antics too. She like entertainment. We boring, so she pop on support for me.
We're gonna get the cussing like he was right when we first went live. You were cussing up a storm for about 20 minutes before we went live, Kofi. Don't be trying to hold it back.
Stressed out, man. But anyway, Wright expresses his opposition to the war first by signing onto the anti-war appeal by the League of America Writers. A second by publishing Not My People Wars. Both items appear in a new massive in 1941. I forgot to highlight that. He criticized revolutionized racial policies in June in the 27th of June speech to the NAACP, although a Communist Party pressure forces him to lessen his critique, Wright gets involved in music, notes a Jim Crow blues preference blues singer, Josh White's Southern Exposure album, and Paul Robeson, accompanied by the Count Bass Orchestra, recorded Wright blues songs. So these people record, he ended up creating a song. He's a writer, man, he's a writer. So he wrote a blues song called King Joe. 12 million black voices, a folk history of a Negro in the United States, published in October. Rice began interest in psychoanalysis as a result of his reading Frederick Wetham Dark Legend. Following the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor, Wright signs a petition which appears in the new massive support American entries into the war. He was against the war. He was very adamant and spoke up about that. So he launched all kind of campaigns behind on the World War. Here I'm just gonna play a little bit of. I ain't gonna play a lot, but this is the song. It's old now. This is back in the days now. But this is the blues song that he eventually, he wrote. My great grandma will appreciate this. I'm just gonna play a little bit of it and go on to the next slide.
Black-eyed peas as cornbread, what makes you so strong?
It's burnt.
Black-eyed peas as cornbread, what makes you so strong? Cornbread say I come from where Joe Louis was born.
I wasn't gonna play all of it, but y'all can go on Amazon, not Amazon, but on YouTube if you want to listen to the whole song. But I just wanted to play a little bit of the song that he wrote. Wright was not drafted in 1942. Again, like I said, he was very adamant about the World War, and set up petitions, set up different types of campaigns against it. Wright was drafted in 1942. Wright was not drafted in 1942 because his family, to his family, he was the sole supporter, but he unnecessarily tried to secure a special commission in the psychology warfare or propaganda service of the Army. He published The Man Who Lives Underground, an accent to what you don't know won't hurt you. In the Harper magazine, he breaks quietly with the Communist Party. Wright begins American Hunger. In 1943, the FBI begins to intervene Wright's associates and neighbors, presumptively to determine if the 12 million black voices constituted seditions. But while that inquiry concluded during the 1943, the FBI investigated continued until Wright's death. So they had been investigating him up until his death. And a lot of it was, like I said, the writings. This brother wrote so much, and he wrote about so much that was going on in our communities and things that was happening to him as a black man in America. And it was another reason why he upped his family. He moved to Paris, France. The Book of the Month Club tells Harper that it only wants the first section of American Hunger, which describes Wright's Southern experience. Wright agrees this demands entitled the new volume, Black Boy. The second section is not published until 1977 as American Hunger. So the Black Boy is a section off of the Hunger Games. They only wanted a certain section. This was another book. Black Boy was another popular book of Wright that people may know. Like I said, he wrote and did a lot, but people know him as, for Native Son and Black Boy. The second section of is not published until 1977 as The Hunger Games. I Tried to Be a Communist appeared in the Atlantic Monthly, causing new masses and daily workers to denounce and disown Wright's Black Boy, a record of childhood and youth in the March of 1945. It remains the bestseller list from 29th of April until the 6th of June. Theodore Bilbo, a senator from Mississippi, labeled the book obscene. That year, Rice also helped James Baldwin win a fellowship. Now, these are the books we just talked about, which was the Hunger Games. They only wanted a certain section of the book, which became the Black Boy, and then the America. Not saying Hunger Games, Lord, I'm thinking about the movie, but America Hunger came out later on. You can find both of these books on Amazon.com. The Black Boy was published first, which was an additional work of American Hunger. They only wanted a certain section, like I said. And then later on, American Hunger came out by Richard Wright. You like that music, baby? My baby said she liked that movie. Late in 1952, Wright begins working on a novel about white psychopathic murders. The Outsiders in 1953 was acclaimed as the first American extensive novel. 3 years later, I mean, I think that's supposed to be three later novels. 3 years later, novels were not well received. Among his prolific writing of the period was White Man Listen in 1957, which was originally a series of lectures given in Europe. In February of 1957, Pagan Spain appeared. It fails to sell well despite the favorable reviews. In October, Double Play published a collection of Wright's lectures entitled White Man Listen. 1958, Wright finished A Long Dream, his novels about Mississippi, and began to work on a sequel of Islands of Hallucination, which is a set in France. When the Long Dream is published by Double Play in October, it received poor and sometimes hostile reviews, and it does not sell well. In 1953, Wright traveled to Gold Coast. We talking about Ghana, where Kwame Nkrumah was leading the country to an independent from British rule to establish as Ghana. Before Wright returned to Paris, he gave a confidential report to the United States, consulting the Accra on what he had learned about Nkrumah and his political party. After Wright returned to Paris, he met twice with an officer from the U.S. State Department. The officer reported including what Wright had learned from Nkrumah advisor George Putnam about Nkrumah plans for the Gold Coast after independence. Pandamore, a Trinidadian living in London, believed Wright to be a good friend. His many letters in the Wright's papers of Yale's Beckett Library attested this, and two men continued their correspondence. Wright books on his African journal, Black Power, was published in 1952, and London published was Dennis Dover's, who also published Pandamore work. So when was, I can't remember quite offhand, when was the meeting that Kwame Ture had when they was after that brother got shot marching from Memphis, marching from Tennessee to Jackson, Mississippi, doing a protest. He got shot, and all of them, him, Martin Luther King, all of them assembled, and he gave this big old speech about Black Power. And this is Black Power. Richard Wright wrote a book about Black Power way, like I said, well before the people started breaking away from the civil rights and developing this Black Power movement, this segregationist and separatist movement. So he put out the Black Power book, and the first person, Rudolph, I can't think of his name. He actually talked about Black Power, but he didn't put it in the terms as Black Power. But Richard Wright was the first person to put it, Black and Power, together when he created this book. And his book, Black Power, was inspired off of what Kwame Nkrumah was doing when he went to visit Ghana in 1953. So like I said earlier, you know, a lot of people credited Kwame Ture for Black Power, but if you go and look a little bit further, you were running to Rudolph. I can't think of Rudolph's last name, but then you were running to Richard Wright. And as far as I can see it from my research, this is where I see Black and Power actually put together in 1954. And by Richard Wright, as he published a book on his journey to Ghana. In August of 1939, with Ralph Elysian, a best man, Wright married Diamond Rose Median, a modern dancer teacher of Russian Jewish ancestry. It was a short-lived marriage that ended a year later. He got married. He was married once. He was married twice. On March the 12th, 1941, he was married to Elin Poplar, Nee Poplawitz, a communist organizer from Brooklyn that had two daughters, Julian born 1942 and Rachel born in 1947. Now, I'm going to show y'all, you know, y'all might have paid attention to another slide, which I don't think people did, because I think they probably would have said something already, but they hadn't. I'm talking about the people in the chat. Okay, this is Richard Wright and his first wife. This is him and his first wife. And as you look and see, his first wife is Ellen Poplar, and she's a white woman. So he married a white woman. Okay, here, hold on. This was the first marriage. Didn't last but a year. I got this damn thing in the way. I can't do nothing. Okay, let me, damn, shit all in the damn way. All right, this is his second marriage. This is his second marriage. Richard Wright, you know, this is his second wife, Diamond Rose Median. This is another white woman. So he's married to white women. And I know that marrying outside of the race, especially when we're dealing with the conscious community, Black Power, RBG, you know, is, you know, people have a problem with Black men dating, and they should. They have every right to be a Black man dating a white woman, or a white woman dating a Black man. And you know, like I told my son, you know, it's just me. I want to keep it. I want him to bring home somebody that look like his mother. You know, somebody that can understand, you know, who he is and understand his people. But these are two, and a lot of people, you know, say. And just like I did last week with John and Beatty. John and Beatty was a Christian. And just because he was a Christian, I know, again, in the Black Power movement, the conscious community, the RBG community, all these other damn more, whatever you would, communities, you know, they downplay, you know, people because of their belief. And John, like I said, with John and Beatty, it does not discredit his contribution, his work, and his sacrifice that he did for us just because he was a Christian. He was a Christian who was highly intelligent, a Christian who put his life on the line for his people, a Christian who went and got field research for his people, a person who put together books to give people an understanding of where they come from. An individual who taught in the school. So just because Richard Wright married a white woman should not discredit him for all of his contributions that he has put in, all the work that he has put in. So just like I put up with Malcolm X, Martin Luther King was a Baptist, but we still revere him and we have streets named after him. We have Malcolm X boulevards. We still revere Malcolm X. We wear the X caps. We wear shirts with his faces on them. We talk about Malcolm X. We constantly trying to keep their names alive. I don't know what that's another purchase. I'm gonna look at it in a minute.
Yeah, I just said his name in the chat.
Yeah, Diop. And I'm throwing his name up there too, just like I threw up Malcolm X, I threw up Marcus Garvey, because Marcus Garvey was a Catholic Christian too. So, and we do not negate the works and the contributions that the three men did, because one was a Baptist Christian, one was a Catholic Christian, and one was a Sunni Muslim of the Nation of Islam. So I was saying we have to award him the same respect as we award those other individuals. The same way that we revere Sheikh Anta Diop, Sheikh Anta Diop, let's see, Sheikh, a lot of people already know who Sheikh Anta Diop is, but Sheikh's small and synopsis of who he is. Sheikh Anta Diop, a brilliant Black, he was an anthropologist, he was a historian, he was a physics, he was one of the most prominent, proficient Black scholars in the history of Africa. It said in the history of African civilization. His discoveries, can somebody mute their mic? His discoveries was deduction have shown the world the true accomplishment of African history, efficiency of putting ends to the debates over the original people of Egypt, where the pioneers techniques in scientific research, such as carbon dating as a mean of dating artifacts and remains. So he is at the top of the food chain when we talk about scholars, when we talk about scholastic work. We always mention Sheikh Anta Diop, you know what I'm saying? And every surrounding team or all the families, we always reference Sheikh Anta Diop. We always recommend Sheikh Anta Diop work as well. This is Sheikh Anta Diop's wife, Louis Mara Diop. She is a white woman, but nonetheless, if we give Sheikh Anta Diop that respect, we have to give Richard Wright the same respect. Does not negate or take away from their brilliance. It does not take away from their intelligence. It does not take away from their contribution. It does not take away from their sacrifices. Here's just
Brother Kofi.
Go ahead.
Two things I want to say about that. For one, with the race thing, right? Especially with the quote unquote conscious community, Black people in general, people who subscribe to being a Pan-Africanist and all of that. So many of us really love Bob Marley.
Yeah.
And so Bob Marley can be added to the list of the ranks because he was biracial.
Yeah.
Also, my djembe teacher, Michael Taylor, is biracial. But looking at him, you wouldn't know that because he has what we consider white skin, but his hair is as nappy as mine with locks. His daddy is Black and his mama's white. And real quick, the second thing I want to say is taking it a step further with discrediting people because they're different than you. A lot of people might hear your dialect, Brother Kofi, and might say, oh, this brother's ignorant. He don't know what he's talking about. He don't know how to read. He don't know how to talk, this and that and the other. That's not the case. Dialectical variance doesn't mean equate to intelligence. You know what I'm saying? If anything, it births a whole nother language and a whole nother esoteric meaning to be able to come up with a code to talk and be able to communicate like our brothers and sisters did with the Underground Railroad. We're being able to communicate different things so that everybody don't know what you're talking about. But it does not mean that, you know, because you don't say things all perfectly and pronounce your E's and R's like I do up here in the North, that you may be what we will call less intelligent. I feel that that is racism in itself as well, because we want to go against our people because, okay, the brother married a white woman. Well, who am I to tell that man who to marry? You know what I'm saying? And so many of us in the community are more what we would consider, we're all mixed, but so many of us are biracial. Like there's a lot of Black people who got a white auntie, white mother, white daddy, whoever, and will walk around us in the hood, be on the street, gang banging, whatever else, with all of the blackest of the Black. And we give them a pass. But then when it comes to scholastic people, like you say, Sheikh Anta Diop or Marcus Garvey, we don't want to say nothing. I feel that that's all hypocritical because none of those things are true. You're an intelligent brother. Bob Marley's music, I bang that all day long, right? And we need to respect this brother Richard Wright, regardless to who he was marrying.
Yeah.
Y'all want some more jewels?
Yeah,
Historical
hold on.
jewels?
Yeah. You can do it. Hold on. I want to read everything is everything. Peace, everything is everything. He says Bob Marley mama was raped. He said his daddy abandoned him, defined by racial. You damn bugging. He said you bugging.
What I'm saying, brother, see, this is what happens when we jump off the diving board before it's water in the swimming pool, to quote Brother Unk. Okay. My point is, regardless of, I didn't say nothing about her being raped or not. Yes, I know the history. You know what I'm saying? I know my Jamaican roots. You know what I'm saying? Got some of that blood running through my veins. My point is, brother, and you know what I mean? No disrespect to you, because you always supporting. The point is, Bob Marley is still biracial at the end of the day. And then depending on who you're talking to, they're going to say that his mother wasn't raped. So I'm just putting that out there to say that there's always two sides to a story. All right. At the end of the day, Bob Marley is black and white. He was biracial. That's my point. And that we all can pretty much be caught banging one of his songs at some point in time in our lifetime. Go ahead. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just ready. I mean, don't get up. I mean, you know, you know, let me see. Biracial only apply to those who damn lay down willingly and let the cracker mount them.
Yeah,
This is what I mean. I get
wouldn't.
passionate about my statements. I'm not upset.
I wouldn't feed into that, y'all.
Yeah, I'm not feeding
But
into
here,
it.
watch.
Can
I take an attempt to kind of get
Go
us
ahead.
back on track?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. In 18, I want y'all to write this down. In 1889, 1899. Yeah, that's the right year. So 1899. Sutton E. Griggs, a Baptist preacher from.
Hey, hold on, bro. Hey, everything is everything. Like I said, I know I see you. You support us on Kofi. You Pieside TV. You support us on Mossy Warrior Clan, bro. But you gonna be respectful, bro. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't want to be respectful, bro, you can exit the building. I don't want to delete you. You cool, but you bugging today, man. Be respectful. You can disagree. We're not telling you do not disagree with somebody. You can disagree with whoever you want to disagree with, but be respectful. Ain't nobody over here no suckers. Ain't nobody stupid, ain't nobody dumb or whatever it is that you put on here, man. Like I said, if you want to, you want to take that, you can take that over there somewhere else, bro. You can go over there. They got other platforms. They love this type of stuff. They love the back and forth. They like the negative comments in the chat. They like that. So if that's what you want to do, go over there. Don't come over here with that. But if you have every right to disagree with whatever anyone is saying on this panel or even in the chat, you got that at right. Just be respectful when you do it.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same exact thing that you just said, Kofi. You can say whatever you want to say. You can disagree. That's fine. We don't run no cult over here. So that's fine. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. So be respectful over here. This is his channel, just like it's all of our channel. So he can say whatever he feels. Calm your nerves and relax, bro.
I've never seen him.
And biracial literally means two races. Bi means two. Race speaks for itself. So yeah, if they was raped, then they're biracial. It ain't take your emotions out of it, fam.
The social construct when you talk about race. So it don't even matter what parents, no matter how forced or unforced, you biracial if you have European ancestry and African ancestry, and it was manipulated. A lot of our ancestors was raped, dog.
Straight up. Bigger than me.
Look how light skinned I am, man. I'm light skinned. How did that happen to me? When both my grandmamas got black husbands, but my grandmamas, they got mixed up. Straight up.
Not to mention the black woman who created every color in the world in the first place, from the darkest of the dark Sudanese to the albinos. You see what I'm saying? So when we run out of bullets, we like to throw our guns. And so all I have to say is, You know what I mean? I'm feeling myself right now at this moment. All I have to say is, if you disagree, brother, go ahead and write you an article or something in. Go on and put it in writing that the fact that if you have a black mama and a white daddy, that you're not biracial. Show me the scientific evidence to support your argument, and let's debate sources. I don't care nothing about what he said. I'm not even on YouTube. I'm over here through the Zoom on the back end through the Hangout. I don't know what he said. Don't care what he said. All I want to know is put it in writing. I'm interested in your argument in writing.
Yeah. I wanted to tie this in though, just to where we was. In 1899, Sutton E. Griggs wrote a novel, and he was a Baptist minister, called Imperium. And they argued this is the origins of the philosophical and social construct or originating from Black Power or for Black Power. He was highly influenced by Frederick Douglass, who was biracial. So to even have the conversation is remedial and is counterproductive to us trying to highlight those who realize their blackness and did their best to achieve higher levels of humanitarian effort for all of us through each generation and through each millennium that came before us. All this petty stuff, like Kofi said, take that to the environments that's conducive for that, if that's what you want to do. And all the others who are about family, let's build and keep moving forward. Because some of these conversations are stopping us from even highlighting greatness, like Kofi was trying to do at the moment. Just that quick, we got off track. So let's just stay on course. You know, there's so much history that we're trying to reveal to people and so many great things to uplift us. A lot of these negative statements have to stop in general. We have to say, Black people don't read, Black people don't study, because look at how many examples of Black people reading and studying we actually have in this world, of how many Black people we see doing good things in the community in this world. Let's start highlighting that so our perceptions of each other change. Because if we keep running with the perception other people gave us, we ain't never gonna see us for who the hell we really are. And I'll chime back out. And that's coming from being mixed, and I'm lighter than everybody here, and that don't stop me from having nigger knots on my forehead that are never gonna go away. It's not gonna stop it. I didn't get an education for being Black. I didn't get an education most of the time because they didn't like the fact that I was poor, Black, and showed a desire for education. So let's stop that. We got other fish to fry. So I'll try them back out. Plus I'm cooking and doing daddy stuff. Love everybody, but I'm going back to mute.
All right. Well, shoot, this is the picture here of Richard Wright with a typewriter. Yeah, I'm almost done, man. Collection. This is here are a lot of his works. I shared, highlighted most of. I missed some of those books and writings. He did. I thought I highlighted a lot of them in yellow. I did a lot of them. I missed a few of them though in here. But the collections of Richard Wright, early works, the Arnold Raspberry, ED Library of America, 1989. Richard later works, Arnold Raspberry, ED Library of America, 1991. Native Son, this is drama, Native Son, the biography of the young American with Paul Green, New York, Harper, 1941. Fiction, Uncle Tom's Story, New York, Harper, 1938. The Man Who Was Almost a Man, New York, Harper, 1939. Native Son, New York, Harper, 1940. Outsiders, New York, Harper, 1953. Savage Holiday, New York, Avon, 1954. Long Dreams, Garden City, New York, Double Play, 1958. 8 Men, Cleveland, and New York World, 1961. Lord Today, New York, Walker, 1963. Rites of Passage, New York, Harper Collections, 1994. A Father-in-Law, London, Harper, Pernino, 2008. Nonfiction is How Bigger was Born, Notes of the Native Son. This was in 1940. 12 Million Black Voices, a folk history of a Negro in the United States. This was 1941. Black Boy, 1945. Black Power in 1954. The Color Curtain, Cleveland and New York, 1956. Pagan Spain, 1957. The Letters to Joe C. Brown, 1968. American Hunger, 1971. Black Power, 3 books from Exile, Black Power, The Color Curtain, and White Man Listen. 2008. The Ethnics of Essays, The Ethnics of Living, Jim Crow. The Autobiography Sketch in 1937. The Introduction of Black Metropolis, A Study of a Negro in Life, Northern City, 1944. A Chosen Exile, 1951. White Man Listen, 1957. That's the Garden City, New York. That's in the double play. Blueprint Negro Literature, 1937. The God That Fell. This is 1949. That's the essays, and then I think he had. Hold on. The poetry. The poetry was Haku. The Other Words. This was in 1998. The reissue of Haku, The Last Poetry of Richard Wright. This was in 2012. This brother was a writing son of a gun. And I wanted to share this native of Mississippi story, Richard Wright, and a lot of work that this brother put in. And even though, like I said, his story, to me, it inspired me because of, like I said, they moved around a lot. Him and his mother moved around a lot. It was no really nobody but him, his younger brother, his mother, his grandmother on his father's side helped out for a little bit. His mother his grandmother, his mother's mother helped out for a little bit, and her sister helped out for a little bit, but majority of the time it was Richard Wright, his mother, and his brother. And every time they moved and traveled somewhere else, his brother would be in school and something would happen where he would have to leave school. So he didn't let none of the obstacles as far as his education, as far as the obstacles of what was going on in that time period with Black people in general in the community, the different plights that was going on, the oppositions that he was facing. He was determined to be somebody. He developed a knack for writing. He developed where at first he developed a knack for reading. Then he began to write at the age of 15. He wrote his first book in the 9th grade. And he went on from there to write books. He traveled to numerous places. He was, involved in during the war, I think World War II. He set many campaigns, petitions. He was very vocal about politics and what was wrong with politics. He wrote about the experiences of Black people in general, experiences of him and his family. So he did a lot, and to me, it was just inspiring for me doing the research on this brother, and it actually inspired me to write more. I said I love writing more than I do presentations, which that's how it is. I can't wait to get off here now because I want to start writing something now. So hopefully one day somebody will be able to put up on the screen here and go run down a list of articles, a list of books, and a list of other things that I may have accomplished in the past. And hopefully I got a goal set right now, and hopefully I'll meet that goal before 2021, and that is to have at least 3 books on Amazon before the end of the year. We'll have one this month. Hopefully we'll have another one soon. We had set the date for volume 2, and then hopefully I'll be able to come out with this other book I'm working on, and the last chapter is going to actually be a chapter from everybody, a question that I asked everybody. So I'm going to ask everybody in social media, people around me in the family, people in the neighborhood, and I'm gonna access the questions and add it into the chapter, and then we can analyze those questions and what will best fit us going forward in 2021 and or later on before this century out. That's all I got. Hold on, let me show my sources because these are my sources right here. I keep it paused for a minute. Like I said, y'all can vent some of these sources, go through some of these sources. Some of these sources tell you about Richard Wright, his story about his father, his mother, his wife, a lot of his published a lot of his published work. But like I say, a lot of them don't mention Black Power as much. They'll talk about all the other books, all the other novels, stories, but they fail to always mention the book that was published in 1954, Black Power, or even talk about him traveling to Africa to meet Kwame Nkrumah, and was inspired for over there. And then that trip inspired him to write the book Black Power. I don't know even tell you the brother met Martin Luther King, I think, coming from India, because he traveled, numerous places. Oh man, that's all I got, man. I appreciate everybody, man, that was tuning in. If anybody else on the panel, man, got anything, I really ain't too much prepared because I wanted to show the book cover again, but we promoting it so much, and we'll mention it again. But go ahead, T'Challa.
I especially enjoyed this presentation because if not just last week or sometime earlier this week, I know the brothers on the panel, we've been doing a whole lot of conversing and corresponding, getting this project off the ground. For myself, it'll be a first publication. It's a personal goal, and it's a big deal. And so to present the great ancestor like this is knowing that I'm following in my ancestors' footsteps and keeping my ancestors proud, because Brother Shawn was talking about a certain papyrus, and I'll put on my most humble hat when I talk about this, because I'll defer to him when it comes to Kemet as far as which papyrus was stating this about the scribes, and how the love for the pen is supposed to trump all other activities if you really aspiring to be a scribe. And so I would equate the great ancestor Richard Wright, in that amongst the ranks of the spirit of the scribe, if you will, because that previous slide you just showed of his list of publications, about 30 or some publications that you listed there, Brother Kofi. So, I mean, like I say, Brother Shawn was talking about the, I forget the papyrus now, but it was dealing with the scribes and how, you're supposed to not want to go out and do all these other things. What's that?
The papyrus of Lansing.
Right. We done talked about that like over the last 3 weeks, I feel like a couple times. And like I say, I mean, these are not the only brothers here on the panel that I actually look up to when it comes to writing and scholarship. You know what I mean? But these are the brothers who have definitely, I have personally been involved with, and who have been showing me the ropes when it comes to being more scholastic. And so I want to put that in, the viewers' minds when you looking at this presentation. This is something that we talking about from the times of ancient Kemet on up until now. People who probably, didn't even know about that papyrus of Lansing was following in the footsteps of what the scribes were saying. And that's very important because Black people invented the idea of writing. First writing system comes out of Africa. And here we are in America going through the racism and trials and tribulations. And we got a brother who just want to write from the age of 15 until, you know what I mean? Like, that's real important. So, just kind of take a look at that and reminisce off of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he definitely can. Like I say, he inspired me. I mean, no cap, man. He really inspired me, man. Just like I said, with his stories and him triumphing through, and him just even though they was going through what they were going through, he quit school. He would go get and work 2 or 3 jobs just to support his mama when she got sick, support his mama and his what's name, and still be able to read, you know what I'm saying, and get what he wanted to get, you know, get his works off the ground and to get them published. So this man got so much stuff published, you know, published work. He got rejected and turned down a few times with some of the publication, but the brother kept on pushing. He kept on writing, and you know, like I said, one of the books, even up until 2020, that book is still being mentioned, and they are still redoing on the movies that was put out with the Native Son. But like I say, you know, he had a few, you know, books that actually did real good. Black Boy, Black Power did okay, even though, like I say, not mentioning it well. American Hunger. Shoot, it was another one too. Something Hallucinations. Dang, I can't think of the name of it. But man, the brother was right. The brother was putting in some work, man. I want to be able to do the same thing, man. I want to, you know, to continue to write articles, you know, continue to, you know, do books, you know what I'm saying? Continue to do books, even though it's stressful, you know, and I know it's stressful right now with this first book we putting out, man. Like I'm stressed out about a whole lot of things. But one thing I know that I'm not stressed out about for this the book concern is I know we're not gonna let anybody down when people purchase the book. I know we're not gonna let anybody down. We're not gonna make our other colleagues look bad because we are part of other teams. So I know we're not gonna make them look bad. We're not gonna make the people that we respect and honor that's still here for us, Unc West, Wu Jiao, Sun Jetty, Asar Imhotep, and some other ones. I'm tired of everything escaping me. You know, those are some of the ones that I'm speaking on that I can get on the phone and call. These guys I look up to, and I know we won't be, and they are part of the surrounding families too. So I know our work is not going to let them down. I know people that's going to get the book going to be pleased with the book. People are going to take something away from the book. People are going to learn something from the book. And I think the people that actually those that actually purchase the book is definitely going to be waiting for us to put out volume 2. So that's one thing I know that I'm not stressed out about is the work. The work is good. It's A1. It's there. That's all I got, man. Anybody else got anything, man, before I close the show out, man? I'm got off though by everything is everything today. I am got off by him. Like I see he putting words in people's mouth that we ain't even said nothing about, man. He said we called the man a white supremacist. I don't know where he got that from, man. We can never call Bob. Hey, go ahead and put him on timeout, man. Like he just ain't gonna stop. I'm trying not to put him on timeout. He a good supporter. Like I mean,
I don't
if you
think he
gonna go,
said. I don't think he
said something
said.
about we say he called him a white supremacist or something.
I
We call
don't
Bob
think. I don't think that's what he said. I think he's saying by saying he's biracial, we're supporting white supremacists. Which, yeah.
If a person has a white parent and a black parent, that's literally biracial. How is that?
Mm-hmm.
What do they got to do with white supremacy?
Yeah, I go through that argument in reverse because if I identify as black, then I'm a blackologist at that point. There's something that will make that argument. And to me, it just becomes ignorant to even argue with someone's beliefs at that point. You get what I mean? Like at some point, we all have to accept the fact that they all gonna think what they think. People are gonna believe what they believe. Our job is to hold on to what we believe in and make sure our actions and what we do all align. And if we keep doing those things, and everything would be all right for us. Kofi, don't let people throw you off. You got too many good things going on. You got too many good things going on right now to even have the idea of stress projecting to anybody who has any moment of watching you. Show them what it's like to struggle and, get your workout on in life. But don't let them think that it is weighing you down, because in real life, what I see is your ambitions to make things the way you know they can be, that drive for perfection. So say, hey, these are the ways we can fix these things. We're gonna fix this right now. Because that's what we do as men. We fix shit. You get where I'm going? But don't because when y'all get to worrying, y'all my brothers and big brothers. I'm rocking with y'all. I'm following lead. You get what I mean? So if I see edgy emotions, I'm gonna embrace those, because my job is make sure Big Brother is fine. Just like I know Big Brother gonna make sure I'm fine, right? So if we see that, then we feel for you is what I'm getting to. You know, we try to tease and make the little moments of, get you back on your square. But yeah, you got to stop letting them get to you. Just what I would advise, I really would advise is get you one of them little cheap ass tape recorders like at Walmart, a little Sony one, like a $20 one. And when these things really get to you, and it's grinding your gears of cognitive thoughts, say all that stuff, keep little notes of it, and then write from that. Make it your therapy forward, and make your therapy a solution for the shit that's putting you in therapy.
I'm gonna just roll one up and send it to Kofi.
I don't
Yeah,
even do it, bro. But the way I am right now, I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now.
I want to say this. I've been told all my life. People will ask me, "Why you getting upset? Don't get so defensive. Calm down." Now I know my side of the family, my father's side, my biological father's side. We kind of got the John Henry thing going on. Okay, I was talking about this earlier with my girl and her mother. So the Thomas side of the family, the Thomases, shout out to all of the Thomases. You know what I mean? You know who you are. Um, we kind of got a way about us. We strong men, we manly men. Like we ain't no, you know what I'm saying? It's not no macho man thing. This is a real moment because a lot of black men can relate to the John Henry story. Okay. So what happens is we get so defensive when we hear something that maybe we have an emotional tie to being associated with quote unquote Caucasian or white people as black people. And that's understandable given our history. I understand that. I understand the rejection and the denial of any Caucasian blood being a part of me as a black man because of what we've been put through and what we're being put through. I get that. But where I'm coming from is a scientific perspective when I talk about being biracial, like literally what is running through your veins, whether just because you say it about your mouth don't make it true. You know what I'm saying? Get out of that religiosity of just because that person said it it means something different. You know what I mean? We have a tendency to get emotional when we hear information that we disagree with, or something that we're emotional about ourselves because we don't want to be associated with a certain level of information, i.e., being quote unquote biracial, you know, and this and that and the other. But the reality of it is we all are mixed. If we
Hey,
all were to go and get a DNA test, we can all say that we got something in our blood that we probably don't want to say is in our blood.
you know what I learned to reply to people with when they are meeting me and they trying to figure out what I am, and I get asked, "Hey, are you mixed with anything, or are you biracial?" I reply every time just real simple, and I laugh at it. Yeah, I'm mixed with the same thing you mixed with. I'm mixed with a mama and a daddy, and they never get it. You get what I mean? But to say, yeah, I get where you're going with this, and we should be okay with that. I think what we need to do is separate these things from aesthetic um, arguments and put them in proper categories. Like if you're identifying with Black Power as an ideology and you say you black and Black Power, all right, right on to you, brother, right on to you, sister, and say that. But it's going to be real hard to convey that message when you are red skinned You get what I mean? Like, you just red skinned, you're not black. You are red skinned. So to someone like a child, they're not gonna understand it. They're gonna be like, no, you red. You not black, you red. And I think it's that. I think it's the disconnect in what kind of messages we're trying to convey to each other and what the message means. And to speak to what you was saying earlier, T'Challa, when you were speaking about being amongst the brethren, I feel the same way. And one of the things that's been driving me crazy personally, like it's just really, really messing with me. The more I study our history, I don't see any other damn lies that was told to me. I don't see a point in time where African people throughout the world were ever illiterate, were ever willingly ignorant, were docile, were any of these things that we keep trying to prove that we never was to begin with. So it makes me wonder, like, when did that lie even truly, truly begin? I know we went through our historical endeavors, both good and bad, but I'm talking about embracing this ideology. Like, when did we just really start flirting with this circle of ignorance, knowing we got the power at any damn moment to walk away and achieve greatness? I don't want to get too long-winded, but that's just, the things I took away from today's conversation while I was on mute.
Yeah. Shoot, if anybody ain't got anything else, man, I'm finna end the show, man. Hold on. Shoot, yeah, finna end the show, man. So appreciate everybody for tuning in, man. And y'all could have been doing anything else with y'all time, man. And y'all tuned in and see what we had to talk about, man. So we truly appreciate that, man. And again, like I said, people can, we disagree. We disagree. Everybody's not going to agree with everybody. People going to disagree. I don't have a problem with that at all. And if you notice, everybody that's in group don't always agree with everything. We just come together on what we agree on and what the agenda is. And everything is everything. Like I say, he support us. He's been supporting us, man, for a minute now, man. So it's still love to him. Like I said, you got every right to disagree with whatever anybody say on the panel. Like I said, it's just like we just keep saying. I don't know if you understanding that. It is just be respectful. Just be respectful. Because you wouldn't want nobody. You wouldn't want nobody being disrespectful to you if they're not agreeing with what you're saying. So just be mindful, man. Just do people. Treat people the way you want to be treated. That's how I look at things, man. At times, sometimes I can snap out, but it takes a lot for me just to snap out. Today I'm about on that verge, though. I'm about on that verge today, but it's because there's a whole lot of stuff going on. But anyway, like I said, man, all love to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Peace and love to you, man. I hope shit, I lost what I was gonna say. But anyway, man, peace to you, man. Peace to everybody, man, that tuned in. Again, every time I get an opportunity, is to say, especially during this pandemic, I'm always say, please move responsibly and not irresponsibly. Please move. Please don't be a danger to yourself, and don't be a danger to yourself, and don't be a danger to people around you. Just keep that in mind, man. Keep a lot of that goes over a lot of people, especially down here in one, man. But I see that's everywhere. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. I think we may be doing I don't know yet, don't hold me to that, but we may be doing matter of fact, I want to, because I did over there, and I need to do it over here too. But let me share my screen. But I want to just talk about, I know some people might have didn't watch Mossy Warrior Clan YouTube channel. Just real quick, we got to keep talking about this. We're going to keep talking about this. Y'all going to be tired of us talking about this. Let me know if my screen sharing.
Yeah, you share.
All right, but yeah, I shared this a while ago. Just to get people that hadn't looked familiar with the website. The website is Kofi, www.kofipiesie.tv. This website, you can go to the learning market. The learning market is over here. You can go into the learning market. Click on to the learning market. We have the book down there. If you want to purchase the book now, you can purchase the book right now. It's $20. It's going to be $20 after the 25th on the website and on Amazon.com. But if you want to pre-order the book tomorrow evening or Tuesday morning, we'll have a promo code in for 20% off up until the 25th. And once the book is released on the 25th, that promo code will come off and it'll be an official price, $20 on the website, and it'll also be $20 on Amazon.com. Don't matter which, where you purchase it through, you'll be supporting us if you buy it off of Amazon. That's cool. If you buy it off the website, that's cool. I click on, like I did a while ago, for as with this in a cart, I want people to, I'm asking people to register to the website. When you go onto the website, hold on. See if I put what I did wrong. In my cart, I know my cart is okay. Here, you go into the website. You can see the book, Spirits of the Mossy. It's $19 now. We have some people purchased the book already. $19.99. I got a few other people supposed to be purchasing the book. They said they're not worried about the 20% discount. They trying to go ahead and support. So if you want to support now, that's up to you. You can go ahead and buy the book right now. All you got to do is go on the website, but make sure that you register. We asking that you register to the website to purchase the book. It'll walk you through. It's got a whole thing you walk through, but this website is not just for apparel or books or downloads, which we're gonna have apparel with the next book that comes out on volume 2. Like I said, we'll be doing maybe 15 or 10 shirts. The first 10 people that pre-order the volume 2 will get a shirt with the book, and after whatever the date that is, you won't be able to get the shirt with the book. You'll be able to buy the book separately, and the book separately, and the shirt will be sold separately after that. But go on the website, check out the website. Just got it up. Go ahead.
Zane asking about what kind of media is on the website. So break that down for him real quick.
What kind of media? Well,
I think he's talking about like the videos and all that.
Okay, well, yeah, we got, if you go to the videos, like I said, we still got to put some stuff on here. I just got the website done. Brother Asad, Imhotep did the website, and we just got to go back in and put some more stuff on here. But he put what we needed on here right now. But we'll be having videos. If you go to the videos right now, ain't but 3 videos up. So we'll have some our videos of some of our popular videos we'll have on the website right now, ain't but 3 of them on there. If you want to go look at it, you can look at it. We have some of our popular YouTube videos in the video section. And then on the home section, we want to make this a learning center too. We want to sell our products on here, but we also want to interact with the people. And so we making it like a learning center or learning hub. And once you go onto the home page, we have a video. We only have 1 video up here right now, but we're gonna maybe after the book is released, well, definitely after the book release, or maybe I got one I'm gonna put up at the end of the week, and then maybe we can get all of the team to start putting some up. Right now you can go take a quiz on there. Shawn has his coming of age video he did, and you can look at the video. Once you get through looking at the video, if you scroll down, you hit coming to age quiz. You can click onto it and you can take a quiz of the video, what you learned from the information that Brother Shawn put out. So, and we got to brainstorm. We hadn't really know what we're going to do, but we can create certificates on here. So we might do like a whole crash course on a particular subject matter, and each week we probably upload a different quiz to the video. We're actually gonna start doing little small 10-minute videos and uploading the 10-minute videos, and then the quiz will be following after that. Maybe we'll give away a free book that we got coming out. Maybe we'll give away some of these books that we got in the suggestion. If you go to the suggestion part on the website, suggestion reading on the website, we have a lot of books, you know, if you want to, you know, that we recommend that you can read. So you can go on here and we may give away one of these books. You know, you may get a certain amount of questions done, and we might give away a book, you know, give away a book, whether it's a hard copy or whether it's a PDF, a certificate, we just don't know. But I mean, we definitely want to interact with the family. So we're gonna be looking out for a lot of videos and quizzes uploaded to the website, and we get a notification every time that y'all take a quiz. We get you actually, after the quiz, you get your results. We get a notification of who the person is. That's why we asking each person, especially when you're purchasing something on the website. So register to the website, just register to the website, you know, and also when you register to the website, you'll be able to keep up with your orders. You'll be able to keep up with your orders. We'll be able to track, and we'll know who purchased the book from off the website, which we'll know that anyway once it goes to the Kofi Piesie TV PayPal, once y'all purchase the book or whatever that we might put up here to purchase. But right now we only have one thing to purchase, and that is the book that's coming out May 25th. I mean March 20th. Man, I'm throwing all the way out. May 25th. Spears of the Mossy. So but like I said, then next volume we'll have a shirt attached to the book, and then, you know, then from that we may have a few other shirts. As I learn, we all learn. Let's get this culture. We must not let our ancestors down. But on the other shirt, we're gonna have a Nigerian quote on the front of whatever the logo of Kofi Piesie TV is. And anybody out there that somebody responded to me, only one person responded to me, I gotta check him out. But if anybody else anybody that know how to do logos, tell them to hit me up on labarrisnelson@yahoo.com, Kofi LabarrisNelson 357 at yahoo.com, or info@KofiPiesieTV.com. Any one of those emails you can reach me at. I'm looking for somebody to do an official logo for Kofi Piesie research team. I'm looking for somebody that's professional, you know what I'm saying? Somebody that's about their business, you know, and that's it, especially somebody about their business, you know, somebody about the business, not gonna give us the runaround, you're not gonna give us any type of excuses, gonna get the job done, you know, and maybe can offer some insight or some ideas to make it look better or make the logo pop better, and it's not gonna tear my mouth out trying to get, because I don't want nothing extravagant or whatever, however you pronounce it. I want, you know, something simple, but something that's, you know, look good, and something that's original. So, you know, if y'all know anybody, man, you know, or even just send them to my Facebook Messenger. Just send them to my Facebook Messenger on Facebook. Have them put the contact in there so I'm able to reach them and we able to talk and try to get something worked out, something ASAP though. I need that ASAP. That's it, man. Please support us. You know, go check out the website. The website is up. It's www.KofiPiesieTV.com. Please support us by purchasing the book, which will be out May 25th. If you want to pre-order, you can pre-order the books tomorrow or Tuesday when the promo code go up, or you can buy the book right now and have it ready to be shipped out for you, you know. And hopefully we can get the books out to the people that pre-order the book. If possible, we can get the books shipped out not on the 25th, but we actually can get the books shipped out early. So that may be plus too. If you pre-order, you may get your books before the 25th. That's if everything work out on the other end for us. Amazon is concerned. And we not having no issues with the process. That's it, man. And if somebody had their mic unmuted, somebody had something, let me start sharing my screen.
Yeah, me and the chat want to know if you will be selling Kofi Piesie red dye on your channel, on your website here, sir.
No, I'm some red archer. I'm gonna go get me some red archer.
Some
You know
red
what I'm
ochre.
saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
with
It's
red
it's
get
archer.
it.
Himba people color. Remember, it's the Himba special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you get a Himba
so
discount.
right. And what what does it symbolizes to the Himba for them having this red hair? It symbolizes what? It looks like something and it symbolizes something. What it looks like, it also symbolizes something. This is in every African culture. If you look at it, hold on, I got my Facebook on. We know blood is red. So blood represents life. So in a lot of
Why you ain't give
cultures,
them no time to answer?
oh man, I don't know, man. But you know, a lot of that stuff
I
be
would
on a
love
lot
your
of this stuff.
class.
Yeah, a
I
lot
would
of it be
love
on the
your class
Man, put
if
that
you was
Sutek
right.
down. Put the Sutek
Professor
down, Kofi.
Professor Kofi. Hell yeah, I would love your class, man. Go in there, he give you the final answers as he talking.
But yeah, man, appreciate you, man. And it's all good. Everything is everything, man. I mean, like I said, man, we have our moments. I had my moments earlier today too, man. If you look behind the cameras, I mean, we all go through something. We hold some. What's the name, man? We'll accept your apology, man. I mean, that's why before I got out here, I definitely wanted to say, ain't no issues over here. You know what I'm saying? Still peace and love. You know what I'm saying to you, because I mean, you've been a supporter. I've been seeing you in the chat for a minute on both things. So, I appreciate that, man. That's not gonna go, I mean, I'm not gonna look the other way because, where you had a disagreement with the brother for what he said and then, some disrespectful thing. I mean, I know, how we get sometimes. So it's all good, man. I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? I really do, man. That goes a long way with me. Goes a long way with me when people support, you know what I'm saying? So that go a long way with me. So I'm only gonna support those um who support me. And I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't care who you is from now on 2020 and on out. If you don't support us, I don't support you. And those people that we support, I'm definitely looking for you to support the team when the book come out. When it come out, we definitely
Hey,
support. I might
let
have
me
to
just
do a
say
damn.
real.
Go ahead.
Just wanted to say real quick too, because the brother's comments, I'm assuming, was addressed towards me about what I said. That I don't have no hard feelings either, and that's what I was saying about being passionate about my statements. Um, a lot of things I can say can come off like, man, is the brother attacking me? And that's not the case. I'm just passionate about information. And I don't take nothing personal. I mean, if you say whatever you want to say, go and type it in the chat, whatever. Well, you can't on this channel, but you can think whatever you want to think. And if you say some disrespectful words to me, then you said some disrespectful words. My own family, flesh and blood, we done had all types of spits and spats. That ain't gonna mean that I'm not gonna turn around and be like, we need to have something for dinner tonight. We just gonna keep it moving. You know what I mean? Just, we just catch ourselves as men, we make mistakes. And I just wanted to personally say that because the correspondence was between me and the brother. I don't have no hard feelings either. Just wanted to put that on record.
Yeah, it's all good, man. So again, peace to everything. It's everything, man. We
So
definitely
so this means the world is back to having toilet paper? Is it
yeah,
over?
they
Is it
nah.
at peace?
Hey, look, I watch
Is it
on
over?
Sundays anyway.
Is the war
Yeah.
over? Have we made peace? My point is smile, everybody, and enjoy the day and the moment. Eat
Yeah,
well,
man.
love one another, especially while these things is going on at these times. Like it's the best time now more than ever. I'm gonna throw this out there. I don't know if anybody else is talking this way, but just look at it. There's a lot of people out of work. Schools is shut down. A lot of us got the opportunity to sit back and reflect on how we want to have things maneuvering in our benefit coming out of this as well. We can say, hey, we see what it's like without anything moving. Now we can say, rebuild it the way it needs to be built and put us in it for once. You know, we can expand a lot of these conversations and dialogues that we having right now amongst one another, is what I'm saying. We got the resources to do it via talking to one another at the drop of a dime, which means we got instant communication. We can network and we can build with the natural resources in each one of our respectful environments. And we can demand changes to make this world what we desire it to be. Not so
Yeah.
much of getting caught up in individualism. I'm not trying to preach that doctrine to nobody. What I'm saying is with proper balance, we can really make some things happen if we get the ball rolling. If we flip the way we're looking at these things, we can really manipulate this through our communities to say, yeah, the thing shut down because it didn't work. It failed, it crashed. We ain't gonna allow it again. And this time, this is how we want it. But we have to get active and we have to become aware. And one thing we have to do is stop acting like the things that affect me and you don't affect me and you, meaning we all going through this. So let me stop because I know everybody trying to get to eating in their families. But peace, everybody.
Yeah, hey,
That's my final
go
thought
cook.
for the night.
Yeah. Anybody else, man, got anything, man, before I shut it down? Well, shoot, again, man, we appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We'll see y'all next week. We'll probably come back and do that book thing because I actually honestly want to upload that to the Expand Your Mind page with the book recommendations on there and take the other video off of there and put our own video up there. So we may come back and do the book club, the book suggestion of the books next week, or if not, we'll do the Marcus Garvey. I want to try to keep doing this lit thing I've been doing. But anyway, man, again, peace, man, and Black African power, man, and we'll see y'all, man, next week, man.